So welcome students to this new class, and this is the first class for module 4. We are starting module 4 today, and as you can see on the screen, this class is related to second law of thermodynamics. So we have studied first law of thermodynamics, and we will just review that law, and after then we will come to second law of thermodynamics. So what is this law? As you already know, that its compact form we used in our calculations. It was this form, but actually it was neglecting the kinetic energy and potential energy. But if you will write it in its full form, then you will see that it is like this. Plus, this is the full form of the first law of thermodynamics, and it is this left term is for the system that we are studying, and this is for the surroundings, the heat and work that is interchange to the surrounding from the system. So this is kinetic energy change of the system, this is potential energy change of the system, and this is the internal energy change of the system. And whatever change happens here, it will go into the surroundings in the form of heat and work, and it will change the kinetic energy and potential energy and the internal energy of the surroundings. So it is very important. So it means that whatever change comes here, for example, here happens plus change, then there will be a negative change in the surroundings, or if here it is negative change, then here will be positive change. So in a way, the energy of the system and surrounding, if you will add, it is constant. This law is saying that this is actually conservation of energy. This law is actually about conservation of energy. Here you see that positive change means the energy of the system has increased. It means that it has taken energy from somewhere. So it will take energy from the surroundings. If a surroundings is giving the energy to the system, then energy will decrease. The same way, if the change in energy in the system is negative, it means that it has lost its energy, and it means that it has released the energy in the form of heat or in the form of work. And where will it go? It will go to the surroundings, and the same amount of energy will be increased in the surroundings. So what I mean to say that energy is conserved. It is not that if here the change is 50 joule, then here the change will be only 5 joule. It will be minus 50 joule, so that the energy is conserved, or you can say that the energy of the universe is conserved. So first law says that the energy is conserved, but it has got limitations. What is the limitation? It is not telling you in which direction your process will go. Means it is not telling you if some process is going on in some direction, then why actually it is going into that direction. What is the reason for that? And this direction of the process is dealt with in second law of thermodynamics. So that's why I reviewed first law of thermodynamics. It is related to conservation of energy, and it is related to the direction of the process, in which direction the process will go. For example, if there is some building, this is your ground, and here is some material, or you can say stone, whatever it is. So it is your daily experience that it always falls down. But if some stone is here, it does not come here by itself. So I will tell you about this thing, but this is all studied in or explained with the help of second law of thermodynamics. And also one more important thing is, first law of thermodynamics is based upon our experience. We have just seen things in our surroundings, and we saw that energy is conserved. We have not proved it mathematically. It is just our experience. And the same thing is with second law of thermodynamics also, because we have seen in our daily life that always this stone is always falling down, but we have not proved it mathematically that it is to fall down. So I will explain this thing just now. The second law of thermodynamics can be better understood with the help of this example. It is a process, a stone falling down. So this stone is here, and it is at 10-meter height from the ground. So can you calculate here its potential energy at level 1? Its potential energy is, here I am showing potential energy is mgh, and if you take this, the datum, your ground level, you start your height from here, then you can say that its energy is mgh, and suppose its mass is 1 kg, and acceleration due to gravity we take 10 meter per second square, and height is your 10. So what is the energy? It has got 100 joule. Its potential energy is 100 joule, or you can say that total energy of the system here will be 100 joule. Total energy means kinetic energy plus potential energy plus internal energy, whatever its temperature is. Actually we will be dealing with that. You cannot take here the absolute internal energy, but just imagine that there is some internal energy it has got. Because of that it has got some temperature, because if suppose its temperature is 25 degrees centigrade, it means that it has got some internal energy. So don't make yourself confused with that. Just see that its potential energy is 100 joule. Okay, now it will fall. Now suppose it falls, where it will come? It will come here, just before it is striking. You notice this here, it is not struck to the ground at this time. You have taken the photograph just before it touches the ground here. So what will happen here, that at this point, what is its energy at I am talking about, I am saying that this is your state 2. Here, as you can say that its potential energy will convert into kinetic energy, or you can say that it is almost at height. It has fallen almost to height 10 meter. Neglect this height. So you can say that here also the potential energy will be 100 joule. So this potential energy will convert into kinetic energy. What will be the kinetic energy at 2? It will be potential energy at 1. So you can say that it is 100 joule. So at this time it has got energy 100 joule. Now after it has struck to the ground, okay, this thing will be here when it has touched and it has stopped. So I am making this scene here, that its velocity has become 0 and it is resting on the ground, and it is state 3. What will happen to its energy? 100 joule energy, that was in the form of kinetic energy. It will, when its velocity is 0, potential energy is 0, where will this kinetic energy will go? It will go into the molecules that are inside here, inside in this stones, and it can go to the molecules of this ground also, but we assume that all the energy goes to the molecules that are inside this stone. So they will start vibrating more, and that is the increase in internal energy. So we can say that it will increase its internal energy, or you can say that internal energy will be added to it about 100 joule, because we cannot find out what is its absolute internal energy. That's why I am saying that its internal energy will be added to 100 joule. So if here it has got 50 joule of internal energy, then now it will become 150 joule of internal energy. That way you can understand this. So still it has got 100 joule of energy. It is in the form of internal energy. So here also it had this potential energy equal to 100 joule. Here also it is kinetic energy equal to 100 joule, and this energy is still here. Because of this energy it had fallen down the height, and that energy is still here with it. You will feel it in the form of temperature. The temperature will increase of the stone will increase. But now we come to the main point. Suppose we are not interested in this. I am making this figure here. Actually stone is here and it is resting on the ground. It is at high temperature and its energy is 100 joule increased, velocity is 0. So here comes the first law of thermodynamics. It says that energy is conserved. So here 100 joule, here also 100 joule. So first law is fulfilled. But it says only this. If you will reverse this thing, you just don't see stone is not here. It is here, and if it reaches here, it will have this 100 joule energy converted into potential energy. So why is it not possible that even if it was having 100 joule of energy here, it fell down, but at this time also the same energy is here? Why is it not possible that it is going there by itself? Because it according to the first law of thermodynamics, there is no problem, because if we take state 1, state 2, then energy is conserved. If this is converted into potential energy, then there is no problem according to the first law of thermodynamics. But it is not possible. It never happens in our life. We haven't seen this. So this kind of experience has been put in second law of thermodynamics. So in a way it says that there is a particular direction in which all the process will go, and in this case of stone, you can say that here the second law of thermodynamics is that stone will always fall down. It will never come up like that. So because of our experience, we have made this rule actually, but actually it is not proven mathematically. Now I will come to actually I would like to discuss something interesting, that why this stone is not coming up. So if you will take picture here at this point when it is falling, then if you will see that, if you can make its big picture, molecules I am making here like this. So what you will see here, that all the molecules will be going like this down, in the same direction with the same velocity. That's why it is falling down. The whole mass is falling down because all the molecules are moving in the same direction, and it is the kinetic energy. But at the ground level, at this time, when it is resting at high temperature, what is the scene? Molecules are there, same molecules, but in what way they are doing now? The vibrations, some molecule is vibrating like this, another one is vibrating like this. So everything is haphazardous there inside. Energy is just distributed in a random way, that 100 joule of energy, like this. Molecules are vibrating in whatever way they can. But suppose at some time, by chance, it happens that it may be possible, there is probability of it, even if it is millions of millions of that odds there are there, that if it happens that all the molecules keep start vibrating in the same direction, like this. So if this kind of thing happens, you will see that at a particular moment all the molecules will be having the velocity in the same direction. So what will happen if this molecule comes here, this molecule comes here? It means that a stone will come up because of this 100 joule of energy, and the same thing happens here also. Then you will see that a stone will go up to that height. You will see that that process is possible. There is no, means you cannot say that there is impossibility. But second law says that it has got very low possibility or little probability, or you can say impossibilities. This process is, this kind of event is impossible. That's why it says that it will never happen. But actually it is based on experience. May be possible, it can happen. There is no restriction with respect to first law. So you will see that the stone will reach to the height again. So it's not impossible, and I have told you the exact reason why this is resting here and why it is not jumping back to the that original level. So now you will realize that the energy that is there in some haphazardous way, that is called heat. It is in the form of heat, or internal energy rather. So it is in a very haphazardous way, it is not a regular way. And if you give this kind of heat to something, then molecules will behave in this way, and that heat, that this kind of energy cannot be converted into this regular form of energy. There is no way that you can convert this energy here in kinetic energy or potential energy. And this is all the thermodynamics, second law of thermodynamics is about. It says that heat cannot be fully converted to mechanical energy. This is its another form. So now you have got a little idea about second law of thermodynamics and its concept. So you can read your textbook, and in the next class I will give you more insight into this concept, and also I will discuss heat engine, and with the help of that heat engine we will show what this second law of thermodynamics says. So for this class, thank you very much, students. We will meet in the next class.